All right. Okay. Uh, Thank you. All right, I am calling the 5:45 public hearing to order. I was thinking, I must have an accent of some sort. I don't know what that is. Anyway, this is resolution authorizing the acceptance of easements to support an infrastructure improvement project on 1800 Asylum Avenue and 1710 Asylum Avenue. We'll begin with roll call. Mr. Davidoff.
Good afternoon, Madam Mayor. Councilor Blanks.
Present.
Mayor Cantor.
Here.
Councilor Cortez.
Here.
Alternate Mr. Dorr for Ms. Fay. I'm sorry. Here. Councilor McGinnis.
Here.
Councilor Poland.
Here.
Councilor Walters.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Winograd.
Here.
And Ms. Casperson for Mr. Zidanowitz.
Okay, thank you so much, and thank you to our alternates who are seasoned at this table. Mr. Dorr and Ms. Casperson both have served honorably on the council, and we're so thrilled to have them back. Thank you. So we will begin with a presentation. Mr. Ledwith.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Town Council. For the record, Rick Ledwith, Town Manager. The purpose of tonight's public hearing is by way of resolution to request 2 temporary and permanent easements. The first over the property located at 1800 Asylum Avenue to remove the existing culvert and install new twin 10-foot by 5-foot box culverts, regrade the upstream and downstream banks, install new head walls and wing walls, and perform bank stabilization and restoration. The temporary and permanent easement areas are approximately 7,600 square feet and 29,697 square feet and run along the eastern side of the property adjacent to Troutbrook Drive. This easement would be between the town and the current owner of 1800 Asylum, West Hartford LLC-1. The second temporary and permanent easement would be for the property located at 1710 Asylum Avenue, where we would remove the existing culvert and install new twin 12-foot by 5-foot box culverts and wing walls at the upstream end of the culvert, and to install outlet erosion control structures and perform bank stabilization and restoration at the downstream end of the culvert. This easement would be between the town and the state of Connecticut, who owns that parcel of land at the southwest corner of Troutbrook and Asylum. This resolution was reviewed and approved by the Town Plan and Zoning Commission with a 5-0 vote at their meeting last night. And the temporary easement would allow us to go in and do the construction, and the permanent easement would allow us to do maintenance of the culverts in the future. So it's fairly routine easement type of request that we're making this evening, but through you, Madam Mayor, would pause there. And I see no one's here to probably speak at the public hearing, but happy to answer any questions that the council had.
Thank you, Mr. Ledwith. The temporary easement is for how, is there a certain time period or just when the work is done?
It's just for the construction period. So we're nearly done with the design of both culverts, and the construction would take place in 2025.
Thank you. So we are going to check with our clerk for written comments. Have there been any?
No written comments.
I will check the sign-up sheet. No one has signed up to speak on this. If there's anyone in the audience that would like to. Okay, council members, any questions? No. All right. I will read into the record, letter dated August 6, 2024 from the Town Plan and Zoning Commission recommending approval. As the town manager said, 5-0. Is there any other comments, questions before we close the public hearing? Okay, we've now closed the public hearing. The next public hearing begins at 6. We cannot start early, so go get some water or a bathroom break. Bye. phone, so we will bring everybody back in. Okay. I'm calling this 6 PM a public hearing to order. Application filed on behalf of SFWH Property Owner LLC, the owner of Special Development District SDD number 6, more commonly known as Corbin Collection, to amend the existing SDD to accommodate a new proposed indoor recreation or amusement facility with restaurant in the upper level of the former Sears building. Contemplated improvements include facade, signage, and site modifications. Roll call, Mr. Davidoff.
Good evening, Madam Mayor. Counselor Blanks.
Present.
Mayor Cantor.
Here.
Counselor Cortez.
Here.
Mr. Dorr for Counselor Fay.
Here.
Counselor McGinnis.
Here.
Counselor Poland.
Here.
Counselor Walters.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Winograd.
Here.
Ms. Casperson for Counselor Zdanowitz.
Here.
Thank you, Mr. Davidoff, and thank you again to Mr. Dorr and Ms. Casperson for joining us. Again, very seasoned, very excited to have them sitting at the table with us again. So, why are you laughing? All right, we will begin with a presentation by the applicant. Hello, Attorney Pearson.
So again, I should be able to do it, but you should stay with me, okay, just in case. Oh, yeah, you want to hand them out? I would love to. Okay. Okay, but it's not up on the screen yet. Does it take time?
Yeah, is the screen on?
Sounds like something's happening.
Do you think there's anything we need to do at our end?
Yeah, sometimes it takes a second to warm up, but.
Well, we do have handouts if we have to proceed that way, but. It did work last night, I can tell you that.
Did.
You broke it last night.
You want to turn it off and try again? I don't know why one screen just went up. Yeah.
Turn it off and start again. Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, hold on.
No, I know, it's just odd that the one went up.
Yeah, it's very odd.
We really can proceed with paper copies if need be. I'm going to
Okay, let's start. Mr. Davidoff, if you can continue to work on it and see if you can get it going, then we can flip to the screen. Sorry to anybody that is inconvenienced by this. Go ahead.
Well, happily, it's not one of those applications where I'm going to speak to you for 3 hours, so.
We're happy to.
I know, I know.
Sorry.
That's okay, that's okay. So to begin our presentation, my name is Robin Pearson. I'm an attorney with the firm of Alter and Pearson in Glastonbury, Connecticut. I'm here this evening on behalf of the applicant, who is the property owner. It is SFWH Property Owner LLC, which is wholly owned by FWR, which are the initials for First Washington Realty. I've provided the clerk with the sign affidavit. The signs have been posted for the requisite period of time, and I'd like to introduce those who are here with me this evening, who will not be presenting, but are here to answer any questions that you might have. And first is Greg Zeich. He is the Senior Vice President with First Washington Realty. He just waved to you. John Goff is on his way. We know he's going to be here momentarily. He is the Vice President of Construction for the proposed tenant, which is level 99, and you may indeed have some questions for him regarding the proposed use. Also here is Chris Millard. He is our architect, and he is with Phase Zero Design. So with that, as I mentioned, they're only going to be doing questions. Should you have any, I'm going to just quickly go through the slide presentation, but whoops, I'm not going to be doing that. So we'll go through the handout that we've given you, and I will use that to just acquaint you with the entire application, and then I expect that you might have some questions for us. And I would like to begin by saying that seldom have I come before you with an application with really so little for me to say. And that is because what you have before you is a Special Development District Amendment application to SDD number 6 for only one thing, and that is to approve an increase, a slight increase, in the number and size of signs for this proposed tenant. Everything else we're going to show you today has nothing to do with anything that you need to vote on. It's simply the sign change, which is before you tonight for your consideration. And you should note that there are some changes to the elevation to the extent of coloring and materials that are used, but nothing that would trigger an SDD amendment. Indeed, had there been no sign changes, this could all have been handled administratively by town staff, and you would not have the opportunity to hear all about this exciting project. So, and speaking of exciting, I'd like to say that seldom do I have an opportunity to come before you to talk about something that is really so interesting, unusual, and really exciting and new for West Hartford. You folks had the foresight back in 2017 to realize that there could be a shift in marketing in town for many of your businesses and existing structures where retail was not as, brick and mortar stores were not as strong as in terms of a market as they might have been before, and that there was a real interest brewing nationwide really in different kinds of amusement facilities associated typically with restaurants and the service of alcohol in those restaurants. And you adopted a regulation, and I do believe that it's fair to say that reg, which is titled Indoor Recreation or Amusement Facilities, excluding nightclubs, dance clubs, and dance halls, the intent of that regulation really is met incredibly well by this particular proposal. So your vision has finally come to fruition, we believe, with the proposed use of this 40,000 square foot space above what was the old Sears building. So level 99 is proposing to occupy that space with what is a state-of-the-art, high-end social gaming playground with restaurant featuring over, or plus or minus really, 50 plus physical and mental challenge games for all ages. So, as I said, I do believe that what they are proposing fits your definition to a T. But again, you're not considering the use itself, you're only considering the signage. So if you turn to our next slide, what we have provided, it's page 2, is an outline of the entire SDD, that is SDD, Special Development District, SDD number 6. It's one of the earliest ones established in West Hartford, that's why it has such a low number. And the portion of the Special Development District that is affected by this application is the northern portion, and you can see that it is outlined with a dotted line. You can see the Sears building, which is on the easterly side of the site, and you can also appreciate the proximity of the residential neighborhood, and I just wanted you to be aware of that configuration behind that shopping center, because we are going to be giving you a quick update on our outreach efforts. So the portion of SDD number 6 that's at issue is 1445 New Britain Avenue. If you turn to page 3, that zeroes in on the location. And again, you can see that the Sears building, that upper level, is labeled proposed level 99. If you turn to page 4, these are elevations or of photos taken of the existing exteriors of the shopping center. In particular, the one in the upper left-hand corner, I'd like you to take a look at. We are proposing signage in that location and changing that facade, as well as if you go to the lower left-hand corner, we're going to be adding some signage at that location. I really wish we did have the slides, because shown on the screen, the change that we're proposing is really quite nice. If you go to rendering number 5, you can see what we have proposed for the change. We are up now? He thinks we've got it. We're plugged in? Ah, there we go. You just had it for a second.
There you go. So function F8. Yeah, so then just pull up your arm.
And I do believe I failed to introduce Mr. Cisco, who is running our IT here, but he is also a design engineer with Bowler Engineering, and can speak to any of the site changes, minimal as they are, that are taking place. Thank you. Excellent. Can you go to the next one for me? Okay. All right. So now you can get a good feel for the aesthetic changes that are being made, Again, these in and of themselves aren't triggering your review for the SDD. They include changes to the color of the edge of the facade compared to what is existing now. Provides much more contrast and interest. There's also a mural that's proposed at this location, and it is a soft rendering abstract of hop leaves. The other changes at this location include the new signage for the restaurant, which will be above the entrance. When you wish to visit level 99, you will go through this entrance and up the stairs or elevator to get to level 99 above. The other addition and change is the inclusion of this level 99 sign on this location facing towards New Britain Avenue and, importantly, facing towards the parking field where people will most likely want to park, as opposed to trying to squeeze into that tight area between REI and Shake Shack. So it is proposed for wayfinding purposes and makes sense for this particular use. Next slide. DRAC had asked us if we would do a nighttime rendering of what's proposed, and that's what this shows. We think it too is very exciting and looks like a real improvement to this particular location. So that which you have to struggle to decide this evening has to do with the increase in the signage. So I mentioned to you that there'll be a new restaurant sign over the entrance, but the reason this is before you now is because when Seritage came in and did the entire renovation for that part of the Special Development District, the Corbin's Collection part, one of the things they included in their SDD application at that time was a sign criteria package. And that package allocated only 200 square feet of signage for the tenant that might someday occupy the top floor of Sears. When we went to DRAC initially, we proposed that level 99 sign that's at the top to be 200 square feet, and then proposed the two additional signs, the restaurant sign over the door and the level 99 trademark sign on the side facing New Britain Avenue. They said, look, we like everything you're doing, but we just think that sign is too big. So they asked us, we did at least 2, maybe 3, I don't remember, but I think it was at least 2 sessions with them. And they asked us to reduce it to what is before you now, which is 180 square feet for the level 99 sign. The sign for the restaurant is 74 square feet, and the logo on the side facing what we believe is going to be the parking area for level 99 is 60 square feet. So that's the change that's before you. These are changes to the site that are not included or required to come before you for a decision, but we want you to know what they are. We are proposing a crosswalk at this location to get people from that parking field over to the area in front of the entrance to the new tenant space. We had originally come to DRAC with a lit crosswalk with lights embedded in both either the curb or on the road itself. And we were told, very interesting, but it just doesn't work for West Hartford because we have a very strong dark sky compliant lighting regulation, and that would not be appropriate for that goal to minimize lighting that's reflected up into the sky. So we took that out. I mean, level 99 wanted to do some really interesting things, but we do have proposed in front of the entrance pavers that are laid out, you can see in this sort of blue pattern to direct people clearly to the level 99 entrance. The other changes that are taking place are in the back of the facility. This is where the trash chute and compactor that will take care of the trash is going to be located, as well as in this area a grease trap to service the restaurant. And that's it for site changes. Again, not something that you have to decide. We wanted to make sure that you had a clear understanding of the very effective trash treatment system that's being proposed here. Indeed, I think the planner said something to the effect of he deems this to be a model trash system for a use such as this. So you can see, well, the arrow points to what is an opening in the existing building. This is where the trash chute for level 99 will be inserted and will go into its own compactor. This is a compactor. As you can see next door, so the system is entirely enclosed. The trash goes into the chute, goes into the compactor, and is just squeezed and squeezed until it's ultimately picked up. So there's nothing that's getting out of an enclosed system. Oops, wrong way. What the planner seemed to be, Todd Dumais was pretty pleased with, was he said, you know, back of houses should look more like this across West Hartford. So this is, it's very clean, it's very neat. You can see that there, the recycle bins are here. Again, this is the chute that it will be connected to. The grease system, which goes underground into the chambers and then is taken care of. So it too never sees the light of day. And our compactor itself will go into this location connected to that trash chute. This is the floor plan for level 99. A floor plan is required to be provided with an SDD application or amendment. The only thing I note is this could change, but the thing that won't change is the categorization of the types of uses that are involved, and therefore there'll be no impact at all on parking requirements. So we are showing, this is the large gaming space, a very sizable restaurant. There is, because this is such a unique use, there is a workshop back here where the techies think about all kinds of new games and put them together and set the whole thing up and run the operation. And again, you come in from below and then enjoy yourself in the level 99 experience. This is just fun stuff. So we're going to show you what is, hopefully you'll have an opportunity to enjoy in the near future. So these are photos from other level 99s. This is the entrance area. Once you come up, you have to go to one of these kiosks. You can see them here and on the other side, where you sign in, you buy your tickets, you decide how long you want to stay, what you want to do. You get a band that is your way of getting through and registers you for the various rooms at various times. This is what you might encounter as you go through with the various setups. I didn't quite appreciate what this was when I looked at it the other night, but it's someone walking on a balance beam going through moving hatchets or axes. So there are physical challenges as well as physical challenges. It's mind game, so it's everything. Physical, this is, rock climbing kind of setup. Kids are going to love it. Lots of game room opportunities for kids and physical challenges. Puzzles. Whoops, sorry. No, I'm going to go back because I like this one. Puzzles and mind games, and can take Wordle to a whole new level for you. And when your brain gets tired, you can go into the restaurant. We gave you a copy of the menu. They have a very full menu. This is sort of like a Mission Impossible, bending your way through light beams. They do a lot with art and have different kinds of games, and this is called an art hunt. This is an example of what the restaurant area would look like. You could certainly just go to the restaurant and not go to play the mind games at all. But so that's it. If you have any questions, Mr. Goff is here. Okay, in terms of the activity. So the only thing we'd like to bring to your attention is that we did do outreach. We sent 149 letters out to property owners within a 500 square foot radius of the entire special development district, inviting them both, well, the mailing, first of all, had a rendering and a description of the uses that were proposed, but it invited them to an open house on July 25th. Mr. Zeich was there. One person came, and they had a lovely conversation, and she said she's very excited about the potential use. He did receive some information about concerns that a neighbor had in this area behind where they are. I guess it'd be right up about here. And he has been in contact with her, and you have his immediate response to her is in the package that you received. So that's it for our presentation. I think it's fair to say that we meet the standards that you're required to consider in deciding an SDD. Basically, it has to do whether the design makes sense. You have a positive report from the Design Review Advisory Committee in your packet, and I would just like to mention, I told you we've been to them a couple of times. I'd like to read what they had to say in a letter dated July 31st. They said it was a unanimous recommendation to you for approval of this. They said the committee specifically noted that as agreed to by the applicant, the 10% reduction in the primary tenant sign ensures that the overall signage proposal meets the DRAC's signage performance criteria that, quote, every sign should have a good scale and proportion and be designed as an integral architectural element of the building. The committee appreciates the applicant's active participation in the design review process, including an informal review sessions and ultimate consideration and inclusion of the DRAC's comments on the revised and final plan. You also have a letter from the Town Plan and Zoning Commission, which makes a positive recommendation to you. That came after last night's meeting, dated August 6th. That should be in the file. And you have a comment from a final letter dated August 5th from Todd Dumais, the town planner, that says the planning division reviewed the above referenced revised application materials submitted in response to staff review comments and notes that all prior staff comments are satisfactorily resolved. So with that, we hope we can approve the sign changes and allow this SDD to be amended in accordance with the materials we submitted.
Thank you, Attorney Pearson. We are going to go to public comment first, which I don't think there are any, but we need to go through the process. Mr. Clerk, have you received any written comments?
No comments, Madam Mayor.
And sign-up sheet where Attorney Dodge is corporate counsel. Nobody signed up. Is there anybody here that wants to speak to this public hearing? Okay, not seeing any. I will open it up to any questions from the council. Obviously, this is a very limited scope, so if you can keep it, you might be curious on something, and that's fine, but obviously our purview is the change in this, allowing the signage. Any comments or questions? No. Okay. I do want to say I appreciate, and we'll I'm sure we'll have a little more to say at the council meeting, but the hard work was done when we, I think, adopted the recreational, the ordinance to allow this to come in. And so this is what we've been waiting for. So I'm very excited to see this plan and this really, I feel like I'm a little old, so I don't know how I'm going to I'm going to let my kids go, and then they'll let me know. No, not a good fit. No, I don't know, I'm teasing. It's a really wonderful opportunity for this space, and I want to say that the Seritage, this particular center is doing great, and it's remarkable how much interest it's had and how successful it is, and I'm really, really grateful for the investment. All right, letter dated August 6, 2024, from Town Planning and Zoning Commission recommending approval. As you said, letter dated July 31st from Design Review Advisory Commission recommending approval, and letter dated July 16, 2024, from the Capital Region Council of Governments reporting no apparent conflict with regional plans and policies or concerns of neighboring towns. There was one other comment on the lit crosswalk. Is there the ability to add any reflectors? And this obviously would not be conditional or anything, but just a curiosity if there would be an opportunity to have reflecting lines, reflective paint lines, as opposed to lights that you had suggested.
Yes, that's certainly a possibility. So you're talking about reflective paint? in the
Reflective
crosswalk?
paint around the crosswalk as opposed to obviously the light for dark sky. But if a car is driving and then it's lit up and for that nighttime activity.
Let me say that that is not something that would have to come before you
Right.
for a design change. So if the owner of the premises, he's said certainly we'll look at it.
Okay, thank you. All right, any other comment, question? Yes, Mr. Dorr.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Well, maybe the town council, our town manager will have to answer, but with the SDD where the size of the signs are being changed in terms of their width and their height, does that create, would REI then have the right to change its sign now to meet, because if it says, let's assume, for instance, level 99 is a larger sign than what was allowed, does that open up the opportunity for everybody else inside the SDD to then come before the council or somebody and apply for a larger sign?
You know, that's a very good question, and it's something that was raised at DRAC. And there was some discussion about, are we opening the door for sign changes? And my response to them, which they found satisfactory, was there have been sign criteria changes throughout both sides of that center over the years. I mean, there were some very different sign criteria in place on the other side of the center. So there's something that's been adopted now. If they wish to come before this council and go to DRAC and argue for a change in sign, they'd certainly be entitled to do that, as long as, of course, the owner of the center wanted them to do that. But yes, the answer is it could happen, but it could happen whether or not you make this change. I mean, it has happened before. I don't know if you can remember when I've been doing this for long enough that I remember the first renovation to the other side of the center, where everything got turned white and sort of colonial looking, and the signs were, actually, they were very small and framed in wood, and they had hanging circular things underneath the walkways. And that whole system has changed because, ideas change, design appreciation changes. So it can certainly happen. So the answer is yes, it could. Anybody, whether or not you approve this, can come in and, working through the owner, ask for a change in the sign size.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dorr. One more round. Okay, so we will close this public hearing. I thank you very much, and we are, I think, at 6:30.
Thank you.
Yes, we are. All right, so can we just go into the council meeting? All set? I'm sorry? Yes, screen up. Thank you. Just wait 2 minutes. Okay. Well, we start with the pledge. We'll wait a minute. Don't worry. All right. Thank you so much. All right, so we're calling the Tuesday, August 6th Town Council meeting to order, 6:30. We are actually at 6:35, and we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Mr. Davidoff.
Good evening, Madam Mayor. Counselor Blanks.
Present.
Mayor Cantor.
Here.
Counselor Cortez.
Here.
Mr. Dorr for Counselor Fay.
Here,
Counselor McGinnis.
Here.
Counselor Poland.
Here.
Counselor Walters.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Winograd.
Here.
Ms. Casperson for Counselor Zdanowitz.
Thank you very much, Mr. Davidoff. And again, I want to thank and welcome Mr. Dorr and Ms. Casperson. Welcome back. They are served on the council previously, and we're so lucky that they're available tonight to vote on a couple of exciting things. So we will begin with the public forum. I don't think anybody is signed up. Mr. Dodge? No, no one has signed up. Is there anyone here that would like to speak that is on something that's not subject to a public hearing? Okay, seeing none, we will go to number 4, Mr. Winograd.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Without objection, I move that items 5A, 5B, 7A, 7B, and 10A be placed on the consent calendar.
Thank you. Is there any objection? All right, hearing no objection, the items are placed on consent. Mr. Winograd?
I move adoption of the consent calendar.
Second. Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We will now go to number 6, unfinished business. Mr. Winograd.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move to approve an application filed on behalf of SF West Hartford Property Owner LLC, the owner of Special Development District Number 6, more commonly known as the Corbin Collection, to amend the existing SDD to accommodate a new proposed indoor recreation or amusement facility with restaurant in the upper level of the former Sears building. Contemplated improvements include facade, signage, and site modifications.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. This was just the subject of a public hearing right before this town council meeting, and it is very restricted in what we are actually voting on. It is really just basically the signage, although this particular approval has a lot of history and weight to some of us at the council. And I think you were not on for the 2017? Yeah, you were in the 2017. When did you leave? I can't either. And you were on and so a few of us at the table were here when we went through a pretty lengthy process, but a lot of meetings prior to adopting a recreational license for zoning and allowing a entertainment use in a traditional retail space. I know our economic development team and our town planner as well has been working towards getting some really high-quality entertainment here in West Hartford for a long time on a larger scale. And I have felt very strongly about this. I think it's a big hole that was missing from the town, and I really believe that this fit for this particular business in this particular space is perfect. And I am thrilled that you are here, and I'm thrilled to have your interest and your investment in our community. The other 2 locations that exist, I think if any of us read about it, is the Natick Mall and Providence Place, I think it's called, but the Providence Mall downtown. And so really wonderful locations previously. I do want to give a little shout out to Miss Pullen because her daughter was at. Maybe you want to just relate.
Yeah, so this comes with the highest endorsement, which is that my young adult daughter started work after graduating college last spring. And the very first thing was they had a company retreat. And as part of the company retreat, which was in Natick, Mass., they went to level 99. And afterwards, she called and said, "This place is so cool. We have to get one of these in West Hartford." It turned out the very next day, I saw Kristen Gorski. And I talked to her about level 99, and she just told me yesterday that that day she reached out to level 99, and here we are today. So it's very exciting.
So when you see a good idea, share it is number one. And number two, thank you so much for seeing the potential here. And I think there really, really will be a wonderful fit. I just want to say that the balance beam with the hatchet, because we're just coming off the Olympics, it's really freaky for me to see that as I see how the balance beam went last night. For some, previous, some stars, it didn't go as well. So, and I've been getting all these old Olga Corbett videos on the last. So, yeah, just be careful. But that looks really, really fun. I am a retired gymnast, so I look forward to trying that out. But anyway, we are limited to the sign as DRAC had initially asked for a revision to the sign. It's 180 square feet for the level 99 sign and 74 square feet for the restaurant sign, and the logo 60 square feet. It seems to fit very, very well with the other locations, and also having a second floor destination is important, I think, to highlight a little bit more strongly than a street level. So is there, I'm sure some of my colleagues would like to share, so is there any input? Let me know. Okay, Mr. Cortez.
Through you, Madam Mayor. So I want to thank you guys for putting this application forward. And yes, in that area, there's so much going on. It's super busy. It's really easy to, miss something in there. I often forget crumble cookies right down below. So I think it's appropriate, the sign change. And then also thank you for coming to West Hartford. We are changing, and we have become a destination location. And I think this is a perfect fit. This is something outside of the box that you don't see everywhere else. So I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cortez. Ms. Casperson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This does bring back memories of one of the things that I wanted to do before I left office, and was having a wonderful space like this in West Hartford. So it's really awesome that I'm able to come back and give my support for something that is so needed, and you're so close to the mall and colleges and everything that I'm sure you've already looked at. But it's going to be such a great thing for our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Casperson. Anything? Okay, Ms. McGinnis. And then Ms.
Yes, I thank you for the presentation, and obviously I think the sign looks great. I just want to say, on a personal level, I have a 20-year-old who's in college, and a lot of times now when he comes home, he and his friends have to go to another town to do things that, like this. So I appreciate that now his friends will have to come here, and he won't be driving on the interstate to go have fun with his friends. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McGinnis. Ms. Blanks.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and thank you to the applicants for your amendment change, but more importantly, like my colleagues have said, for the vision to bring level 99 to West Hartford. As I was looking at the PowerPoint, and as the mayor said, I'm sitting here thinking how I must be getting really old, because this does not compare to the amusements that we were accustomed to. But the future is here. And what's interesting is, as you showed some of the activities, if you will, I'm thinking about my young adult daughters when they come back to town, and I'm thinking about all the other young adults in their age group, and now they have somewhere to go in town that's safe, and they really don't have to worry about how to get there, where to go. It's close to the highway. Many people Uber. It's even walking distance to some of the developments that we have in town. So it really is a perfect fit. And even though we're just voting on the signage tonight, it's like something refreshing and welcoming, and how fitting that it addresses that cohort that we are all talking about in terms of our future generations. So thank you for the creativity and thinking about that and bringing it to us. And we have the opportunity to vote on maybe the signage, but it's also many more things to come as a result of your creativity. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Ms. Blanks. Mr. Walters.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. No, thank you for the presentation. Thank you for coming to West Hartford. I think, you know, I think this is probably one of the last big spaces available in West Hartford, and I think it's great that we will have this kind of use for it. And I look forward to trying to keep my balance on the balance beam, which will be a challenge. But I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Walters. Anybody else? Ms. Pohl?
Yes, thanks. Thank you, Madam Mayor. I do want to thank the prior council who thought to put this ordinance together so that we could get to the place where we are actually finally utilizing it. I think it's worth mentioning that it's going to be the only place in town, really, that utilizes that. So I'm happy to be able to vote for this. The sign looks great. I know it's a little bit bigger, and that's why we need to approve the amendment, but it's a nicer design, I think, too. The mural is lovely as well. So thank you for putting a lot of thought into that and working through our process to create the very best look for the new plans.
Thank you, Ms. Pullen. All right. I think we're good. I just wanted to just comment one more thing on the back of house, our town planner. And those comments do not come easily from him, and that means a lot. And, you know, I would really, I really know that he will use this as an example of what could be. And the trash compactor makes so much sense, and I am grateful for that. I also am impressed with the mural and the art commitment that you also are making in your other locations, and I'm sure here. So I know it will add a richness to our community, not just amusement. So I appreciate that very much. And I think that's it. And we can go to a roll call vote.
Counselor Blanks.
Yes?
Mayor Cantor.
Yes.
Counselor Cortez.
Yes.
Mr. Dorr.
Yes.
Counselor McGinnis.
Yes.
Counselor Poland.
Yes.
Counselor Walters.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Winograd.
Yes.
Ms. Casperson.
Yes.
Passes unanimously 9-0.
Thank you all very much. We have one more public hearing. Thank you so much, and thank you for your investment, and we really look forward to it, patronizing this wonderful, fun establishment. Okay, thank you all. All right, Mr. Winograd.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move to approve a resolution authorizing the acceptance of easements to support an infrastructure improvement project on 1800 Asylum Ave and 1710 Asylum Avenue.
Motion's been made and seconded. Mr. Ledwith, quick summary.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This resolution was the subject of a public hearing earlier this evening and authorizes the town to enter into a temporary and permanent easement for the reconstruction of two culverts at two locations, one at 1710 Asylum, and the second at 1800 Asylum. Both of these have been discussed during community planning and economic development meetings in the past and are part of our stormwater management program. The council had previously referred this resolution to the Town Plan and Zoning Commission, and they positively referred it last evening with a 5-0 vote. Through you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Ledwith. Are there any comments or questions on this before we go? Okay, it's pretty straightforward. Roll call, Mr. Davidoff.
Counselor Blanks.
Yes.
Mayor Cantor.
Yes.
Counselor Cortez.
Yes.
Mr. Dorr.
Yes.
Counselor McGinnis.
Yes.
Counselor Poland.
Yes.
Counselor Walters.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Winograd.
Yes.
Ms. Casperson.
Yes.
Passes 9-0.
Thank you very much, Mr. Davidoff. And we are all ready at reports from Town Manager. Mr. Ledwith.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'll begin the town manager's report with a update on upcoming council business and meetings. We do have a committee of the whole committee meeting tomorrow, Wednesday, August 7th at 8 a.m. That'll be a virtual meeting. And the purpose of that meeting is to discuss unit-based pricing and food waste diversion program and a grant that we potentially could receive from DEEP. We do have a Public Works Facilities and Sustainability Committee scheduled for Thursday, September 5th at 6 p.m. That's virtual. We have a Finance and Administration meeting set for Monday, September 9th at 6 p.m. That as well as virtual. And then our next regularly scheduled council meeting is Tuesday, September 10th at 7:30 p.m. here in the council chambers. In terms of staff reports, we will have a statewide primary being held on August 13th. In West Hartford, a primary will be held on Tuesday, August 13th for Republican candidates for the U.S. Senate and Democratic candidates for the 15th Assembly District of the Connecticut General Assembly. Starting this year, Connecticut allows residents to vote in person before the election. Early voting is available this week, August 5th to August 11th, at one location located here at the Town Hall Auditorium. On primary day, August 13th, voters should go to the regular polling location. Polls will be open from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Please note that District 1-1, which is the King Philip Middle School, is the only place with a Democratic and Republican primary. At all other polling locations, there is only a Republican primary. Voters not registered with a party cannot vote in primaries in Connecticut. Quick update on the Department of Transportation's road diet on New Britain Avenue in West Hartford and Hartford. The state DOT has implemented a road diet on a portion of New Britain Avenue to enhance safety and increase shoulder widths for bicyclists by restriping the milled surface with a one-lane configuration in each direction and a center two-way left turn lane between the intersections of South Street in West Hartford and Newington Avenue in Hartford. The revised lane use will be evaluated before resurfacing occurs on Sunday, August 11th. Anyone who wants to share feedback on the road diet can send comments to dot.trafficengineering@ct.gov. Resurfacing is planned for the evening and overnight hours and will encompass a larger stretch of road. It will span from Newington Road in West Hartford to Newington Avenue in Hartford. Lane closures are in place for both phases of the project, and traffic control personnel and signing patterns are posted. We're excited to announce the hiring of a new Assistant Chief for the Fire Department as we welcome Assistant Chief Jay Silver. Jay Silver has been selected as the next Assistant Chief of Operations for the West Hartford Fire Department. He will begin on August 26, 2024. Assistant Chief Silver served in the East Hartford Fire Department for 29 years, most recently as Assistant Chief of Operations. He's a licensed paramedic and holds several Pro Board certifications. He is a former president of the Connecticut Fire Department Instructors Association and a member of the Joint Council of Connecticut Fire Service Organizations. Jay has also been an adjunct instructor at Capital Community College in the paramedic program and lead instructor in emergency management. Jay has a Bachelor of Science degree from Charter Oak State College with a concentration in fire administration and a Master of Public Administration degree from Norwich University with a concentration in emergency management. The new fall and winter 2024 leisure services brochure will be available for viewing on our website beginning Wednesday, August 7th. The catalog contains hundreds of recreational activities for all ages. Printed copies of the program guide are available at the libraries, town hall, and recreation facilities. Registration opens August 14th for our fall and winter recreational programs. We will be closing a couple of facilities for maintenance. The Cornerstone Aquatic Center will close for routine maintenance and cleaning from August 23rd through August 29th and reopen on August 30th. Accommodations will be made for the Hall and Conard swim teams. Veterans Memorial Skating Rink will also close for maintenance and cleaning from August 27th through September 9th, and the rink will reopen on September 10th. And the Elmwood Community Center will conduct custodial maintenance from August 26th through September 6th, but the facility will remain open for limited activities during this time. MDC will be inspecting homes on 10 streets as part of its watershed program. Later this month, Mark Singh, MDC Watershed Inspector, will visit homes on 10 streets at abut Reservoir 6. The inspections will take 2 to 3 weeks to complete. Mark will be identified by his MDC badge and truck. The 10 streets that abut the MDC Reservoir are Albany Avenue, Balfour Drive, Old Stone Crossing, Orchard Road, Peasley Hill, Rotoli Ridge, Squirrel Hill Lane and Road, Uplands Drive, Stoner Drive, and Westmont. Rockledge Golf Club will hold its centennial celebration on September 6th. We will celebrate Rockledge Golf Club's centennial milestone on Friday, September 6th from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the clubhouse. The event features heavy hors d'oeuvres, drinks, music, and dancing by Lonesome Eddie and the Bird Dogs. Tickets are $100 per person and benefit the Leadership Services Scholarship Fund. Folks can register at Rec Desk by September 3rd. And then finally, Community Preparedness Day is September 7th. September is National Preparedness Month, and the town of West Hartford will hold a Community Preparedness Day on Saturday, September 7th, to encourage individuals and families to plan and prepare for any natural and man-made disaster. Held in the Town Hall parking lot from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., the event features preparedness information, free giveaways, demonstrations, touch a truck, and a free raffle for a go bag full of emergency supplies. Residents will also be able to register for the town's emergency notifications and get a flu shot. Attendees can learn more about West Hartford's Community Emergency Response Team and register for the free fall 5-week basic training class, which begins Saturday, October 12th. For more information, please contact the Office of Emergency Management at oem@westhartfordct.gov or call 860-561-8310. And that concludes the town manager's report for this evening. Through you, Madam Mayor, happy to answer questions of yourself and the council.
Thank you, Mr. Ledwith. Are there any questions for the town manager? All right, seeing none, we'll go to Corporation Counsel, Mr. Dodge.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Madam Mayor, I will be asking the council to go into a brief executive session at the end of tonight's meeting to discuss strategy related to pending litigation. I don't anticipate that the executive session should take too long, and I don't believe that we will be taking any action when we come out of that executive session. Madam Mayor, I'd also like to ask you, after I'm done with my report, to revisit item 6B, resolution authorizing the acceptance of easements to support an infrastructure improvement project at 1800 Asylum Avenue and 1710 Asylum Avenue. And the reason for that, and I apologize for not catching this sooner, is that that was not actually a zoning matter, and so it was not appropriate to have our zoning alternates vote on it. So I would just like to retake that vote because there's an approval of the council to accept that easement. The TPZ already reviewed it as part of its referral, and this is not a zoning vote. So, Madam Mayor, after no motion is required, by the way, because the vote is void ab initio, for having had those alternates vote on it, we can just revisit it after I'm done with my report.
So are you done with your report?
And that concludes my report, Madam Mayor.
Okay. I think we'll take the vote, and then if there's any questions for Mr. Dodge. Okay, Mr. Davidoff.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This is on item 6B. Counselor Blanks.
Yes.
Mayor Cantor.
Yes.
Counselor Cortez.
Yes.
Counselor McGinnis.
Yes.
Counselor Poland.
Yes.
Counselor Walters.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Winograd.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you, and I appreciate the clarification on that. Okay. We will be making the motion, but before I don't have announcements. They were not on my, so I apologize. Do you have, oh no, they're here. Sorry, they were under a piece of paper, I think. Sorry. But before I get into the announcements, they were not loaded on the, sorry. Before I get in, I do want to thank, and I don't know if it's on here, but, or not thank, I want to congratulate the West Hartford American Legion Post 96 U19 who won, and this thank you to weha.com for highlighting this and writing such a great article. They won their first state championship last year after 50 years. They just won their second state championship. So really proud of them, and a really amazing run of 2 back-to-back champions or repeats. It's really amazing. So thank you. 2 firefighter events to benefit MDA, August 10th and 17th. This will be will take place at 10 to 4. And the firefighters will seek donations from drivers at the intersection of New Britain Avenue and Ridgewood Road. This is local 1241. And then on Saturday, August 17th, they will be at Town Hall from 1 to 5 p.m. and a $25 donation is requested to sample beer from several beer distributors. You must be 21 years old, obviously, and a valid ID. And the event features live music and food. It's always a great event for a great cause. Book bag distribution, August 18th. Concerned Parents of Color, West Hartford is hosting its annual community back-to-school book bag giveaway on Sunday, August 18th, 11 to 1, at the side entrance of Town Hall Auditorium. Get your book bags, school supplies while supplies last. All students are welcome. Donations are welcome. PayPal, and there's a connection on our website, Venmo and Cash App. It's CPCWH, and that's CPCWH. Laces for Braces Kids Fun Run, August 18th. West Hartford Orthodontics and Fleet Feet are sponsoring Laces for Braces Fun Run from kids age 3 to 11. Wow. At the Conard Hall track from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. My granddaughter's 2. I just can't envision that 3-year-old, but that's okay. This event is a perfect blend of fitness, community spirit, and philanthropy aimed at helping children in need to receive orthodontic care. Race Day T-shirts are available for the first 100 registrants, and prize medals and awards will be given to the most laps completed by age category. I wonder if a portion of a lap would be honored. I don't know. Admission is free, but registration is required, and there is a link on our website. This really goes to a great cause. The Pooch Plunge, many people's favorite activity, Beachland Park, August 19th from 4 to 6:45 p.m. The pool closes to humans on Sunday, August 18th. It's hosted by the West Hartford Dog Park Coalition. This end of summer tradition, a special event, is a fundraiser for the dog park. You can buy a ticket at the gate or in advance at, and there's a link. So for $15 for the first dog and $5 for additional dogs, dogs must be licensed with 2024 tags. Free virtual diabetes management will take place for type 2 diabetes from 10 a.m. to noon and 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Through September 25th on Wednesdays. At the, I'm not sure, this must be at the health center. It doesn't say a place, but a family movie night at Faxon Library, Friday, August 23rd, 2024. Bring your chairs as early as 7 p.m. for Kung Fu Panda 4, which starts at 8 p.m. Free popcorn will be available. And there also is a link, and the rain date is Saturday, August 24th. Breastfeeding celebration, August 24th, in recognition of National Breastfeeding Month. Hartford Hospital is hosting a stroll on 9:30 a.m. This event will raise awareness and recognize the importance of supporting individuals who choose to nurse their children. The family event will start outside the Town Hall Auditorium, and then participants will take a 1-mile stroll in West Hartford Center and conclude back at Town Hall. There will be resources, information, a DJ, and a fun time. Center Streets will take place on Sunday, August 25th. It says 2 different dates, August 27th and August 25th, so whichever the Sunday is. This family-friendly event features a children's section with games, chalk, and hula hoops. My favorite, actually. Live music by the Dilemma Band in Hartford Hot, several brass band, and fill the air with music tunes. It's really, really fun. Real Ale Challenge will take place on September 7th at the Noah Webster House. This is over 20 of your favorite breweries will be competing in a cask challenge. You each must create a unique cask containing a historically appropriate flavoring. You sample and vote for the Taster's Choice champion, and the tickets go go to the Noel Webster House. Again, a great event. Chamber of Commerce 38th Annual Golf Tournament will take place on September 10th. This is the 38th annual tournament, and it will take place at Wampanoag. The day begins with a buffet breakfast before 18 holes of golf. Afterwards, participants will gather for a cocktail hour and barbecue with awards for the tournament winners, and there is a link as well to register. Adult Congenital Heart Association Walk for 1 in 100 will take place September 14th, and you're invited to walk at 9 a.m. from Town Hall Lot. The walk is an opportunity to thank medical professionals for their work on adult congenital heart disease and to raise awareness and funds for this important cause. And there's also a registration. Feast on the Farm will take place September 27th, and enjoy a 4-course dinner featuring locally grown products and products highlighted by Culinary Talents of Doro Restaurant Group. All proceeds benefit Westmore Park Fund, and there also is a link. The tickets are $100 a person, and there's a link in the announcement section of the town website. Are there any other announcements? Mr. Cortez.
So West Hartford United Methodist Church is going to be is continuing the food drive right through Labor Day weekend. Summer is obviously the hardest time. Food insecurity is an all year round issue, and I know we kind of remember around the holidays, but summer is pretty crucial because the little ones are at home and they're not getting that that school lunch possibly. And then the other thing, we're going into this school year is about to start, so start thinking breakfast items. Shelf-stable milk and, maybe granola bars and stuff like that, so they can get ready for as the school year starts, because school year is right around the corner. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cortez. And I know that there is a real need for protein and peanut butter, tuna fish, beans at our West Hartford food pantry as well. So, Mr. Walters.
I was just going to follow that up. Thank you, Madam Mayor. If we have a food bank, West Hartford Food Pantry here, we'll take your cash as well. And they are able to purchase specifically what they need, Town That Cares website, and just go and click away.
That's perfect and really important for perishable items. Thank you so much. Anything else? All right. So, Mr. Winograd, you are now up for the suspense item.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Without objection, I move that we suspend the rules for the purpose of opening the agenda to add an executive session to discuss strategy and negotiations with respect to pending litigation, specifically Jacqueline Garcia, administratrix of the estate of Mike Alexander Garcia Jr. versus Town of West Hartford and Officer Andrea Teeter.
Is there any objection? There being no objection, the item is added to the agenda. Mr. Winograd?
Without objection, I move that we enter into executive session to discuss strategy and negotiations with respect to pending litigation for that case.
Thank you, Mr. Winograd. Is there any objection? There being no objection, we will enter into executive session. I invite Corporation Counsel, Deputy Corporation Counsel, Assistant Corporation Counsel, and the Town Manager to join us. Thank you.